This Todd-versation is brought to you in part by Produce Careers with promotional consideration from Calavo Growers and Volcano Produce.
Hey, hi, ho, everybody. Welcome to 2023. We're glad you're here hanging out with us. We hope you had a wonderful holiday season, whatever that entails. I hope your family was full of love and good wishes and all that great stuff. No coal in the stocking, I'm pretty sure. We can't have coal in the stocking. Maybe you got a solar panel. I don't know. Now, what do you put in stockings anymore now? Probably solar panels? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't even know. Anyways, hey, we're going to have a great conversation today. I've got a friend of mine here from Earth Fare, all the way back on the other side of this great country of ours. She's going to hang out and share a little story about this chain, what they're doing out there. This is a retailer worth paying attention to. I love what they're about. This story is going to rock and roll a little bit. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Please, everybody, give it up for the Director of Marketing at Earth Fare. Please welcome Laurie Aker. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having us on. Super excited to be here and chat today.
I'm stoked you're here too. This is going to be a fun conversation. I love talking with retailers, and I love talking with retailers that are doing amazing things, big lifts, never looking over their shoulder, only looking forward about making changes in this world, especially when it comes to our food system, because food is medicine. Food is so important, and we take it for granted, and we've taken it for granted in this country far too long. And it's time to keep elevating these conversations, in our opinion, here at TLC, that make people recognize the value that food has, and then make them question, why don't I value food? Where did I learn that to not value it? Why don't I value it? Why don't I look at these things? And you guys are doing such a great lift, and I'm super excited to talk about your trajectory, where you've been.
Yes.
Who you used to be.
Yes.
Who you are. I mean, it's like a mystery box right here.
We have quite the story.
You do it. We're going to get into it. But then, really, again, I want to get into some of the big lifts that you guys are doing. And I want people to hear and from you and from your words, back to my original point, that food matters and why it matters and why we need to consider these things. And if your stores aren't doing what you all are doing, you should ask questions, or ask questions of yourself when you go grocery shopping, because I think that's how, to me, it's how we're going to change the world for the better, and how we're going to change it quickly. So anyways, before we get rolling, and I'll shut up and get off my soapbox here and let you have a moment to share with everybody, just give everybody a little bit of your journey and bio and who you are, and say hello to everybody if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much for having us and really allowing us the opportunity to tell our story. Again, my name's Laurie, and I have been with Earth Fare for almost 16 years. It'll be 16 years in February. A little bit of background and how I jumped on the Earth Fare train, if you will. Back in 2007, I lived in Columbia, South Carolina. And I was actually in nursing school, and I heard of Earth Fare through a friend, and they said, hey, come work part-time, do demos, sample food, go to some offsite events. I said, all right, that sounds great.
That's
so
cool.
I started working at Earth Fare in Columbia, South Carolina in 2007, again, part-time, fell in love with the mission, the food philosophy, and what we stood for. I saw day in and day out how Earth Fare truly changed lives just by offering clean, healthy food to folks who truly needed it. And I started working in the marketing department, turned over to a full-time position, and then I started going on television and just educating larger audiences on who Earth Fare, was, what we have to offer, how we're different from other grocery stores. And I've just been growing with the company ever since. And now I live here in Asheville, North Carolina, right where our headquarters are located. And it's an absolutely amazing company. And I've seen us open 55 locations. I've been through it all. Again, we have quite the comeback story. But Earth Fare is near and dear to my heart. It's a very special company.
It's unbelievable. And if anybody's ever been to Asheville, North Carolina, it's a pretty nice place it's a pretty nice place in this big place called America.
It is.
Do you have any bears? Beautiful. Do you see bears? How many bears do you see?
There are bears actually out in my backyard every single night.
Yeah, there's bears everywhere there.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's a problem for me. I'm not going to lie. The bear thing, bears, spiders, snakes. Spiders and snakes, I can kind of walk around. Bears are like, you're kind of at the mercy of the bear.
Snakes. I can't stand snakes. Biggest fear in the world.
You're tough. You're tougher than I am if you can deal with bears. But you're a retailer. That makes you just an instant ninja, right? You're
Absolutely.
Just a badass because you're a retailer.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Have those skills.
Let's get into it a little bit. Let's frame this thing up, because this is a journey. And so I'll, just to get everybody kind of up to speed, just tell everybody basically what is Earth Fare in its kind of current form. And then we're going to drill down and get deeper into the weeds on the whole process.
Absolutely. So Earth Fare is an all-natural and organic grocery store as well as a cafe. We have 21 locations that span across 8 different states. So we're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, Ohio, Michigan, and we have a very unique food philosophy that truly makes it easy for you and your family to lead a healthy lifestyle. And we have a little over 1,000 employees company-wide, and again, we have 21 locations. So we're a great natural and organic grocery store.
So I love it. So here we go. Now you're ready, kids. Now pay attention. Get your scorecards out because it's going to get wild. It's going to be a wild ride here for a few questions. So let's dive a little deeper into the company history. Started back in 1975 at a little 1,200 square foot natural food store. It seems like everybody kind of started in that 1,200 square foot footprint and then just exploded, right?
Absolutely.
But you really focused, even back then, on kind of really building a cool retail experience. And you've done that over the course of these 45 years. So let's fast forward a little bit. Let's go back to 2012.
Yes.
2012, Earth Fair, can't even talk. Earth Fair sells, right, to venture capitalists, to whatever money, whatever you want to call it.
We did.
Everybody takes off a leave. The company gets rolling. By February of 2020, the new ownership's like, hey, kids, guess what? We're going out of business and we're closing all the stores.
Yes.
So share that part of the story at that point, and then we're going to keep going with the story.
Absolutely. So really between 2012 and 2020, we experienced unprecedented growth. We literally helped millions of Americans across the country make the connection between the foods that they consume and how that affected their overall health and well-being. And ultimately, just the pattern of that rapid expansion. I mean, we were growing at a 20% clip at one point. And that growth within such a competitive market, it just unfortunately led to the investors making the unfortunate decision to close all of our locations. But the great thing is, some of the original founders from Earth Fair, local advocates here in Asheville, our previous team members, they came together and they said, you know what, this company, our roots are too strong. We've been here for way too long. I mean, we've been in the business in the natural and organic industry since 1975. You have to remember that Earth Fair was the very first natural food store in Asheville. And if anyone's been to Asheville, it's filled with nothing but healthy food enthusiasts. It's crunchy, it's granola. And in a way, we really set the pace and the tone for the industry way back in 1975 when it wasn't, quote unquote, the thing to do. So these folks, they got together and they brought us back 1 month later. So Earth Fair filed for bankruptcy in February of 2020. And in March of 2020, this group got together. We reopened our first location under Earth Fair 2.0, we like to say, here in Asheville. And we've been going ever since. And we've had such an overwhelming response from the communities that we once served. Once they got wind that we were opening up these locations, see, originally we were only supposed to open up a handful, 6 to 8 stores, and that was it. And these folks kept emailing us and contacting us saying, you have to come back. We have nowhere else to go. Earth Fair is one of the most dedicated retailers in the industry to provide strictly all natural and or organic products. And we'll talk about our boot list and our food philosophy a little bit more. But we just got this response. So we kept opening and here we are with over 20 locations on the East Coast.
Unbelievable. I mean, it literally, you go from February to basically March to June, and then, and all of a sudden, to your point, Earth Fair 2.0. So let me go ask my first question all over again at this point. Now that we've come and kind of told the whole circle, what is Earth Fair?
Sure. Well, again, Earth Fair makes it easy for families to lead a healthy lifestyle. When you walk through our doors, every single product will be free of artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives. Our fresh meat, seafood, and dairy will be free of added hormones and antibiotics. Our cookies, cakes, and pies and our freshly baked breads will be free of bleached and bromated flour. Earth Fair was also one of the very first grocery stores in the industry to completely eliminate high fructose corn syrup and added trans fats. So we like to say we read the labels so you don't have to. And that's really the heart and soul of Earth Fair. That's who we are and what we're about. It's really what you won't find on our shelves that makes all the difference.
Oh, 100%. And I love the fact that your values are just out there and you live them, and you walk in the stores. You walk into a store, and I've been to both 1.0 and 2.0. You walk into a store, you know that this is not your average grocer. You know that something's up. There's a vibe in the air, the whole 9 yards. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I think this is a really powerful statement, the one that you just made, and I want to come back around to it, that you guys read labels so the consumers don't have to, basically. Talk a little bit about why that's important and what that means to consumers.
Thanks for joining the Todd-versation. And now, a word from our sponsor. At Produce Careers, we are in the people business. Thanks for listening to Todd-versations. As your trusted executive search firm for the fresh produce, food processing, and agribusiness industries, we focus on outcomes. With over 80 years of combined industry expertise, with our global networks, we have the tools and the skills to identify top talent for your organization's strategic hiring needs. Our relationship-driven approach and proven recruitment process deliver the right candidates at the right time. At Produce Careers, we know each hire is an investment. Whether you're looking for the perfect candidate or searching for your next challenge, call or email us today and let us partner with you.
Well, we need to take the guesswork out. It is crazy on what's going into ingredients and what's approved by, the FDA here in the US. I mean, the same ingredients that go into coal tar, petroleum, and cleaning products are the same ingredients that are going into salad dressings and breads and everyday granola bars and cereals. And we, it's often we don't think about the journey that a product goes through to become that product. And that's why we created our boot list. And we are so dedicated and committed to providing our customers with the cleanest, healthiest, all natural and organic food. If you have, as a customer, if anyone, a team member, anyone who walks through our front doors, if you ever find an ingredient that goes against our food philosophy or against our quality standards, let us know and we'll investigate. Sometimes companies will reformulate products and they won't notify, retailers of the new, whatever ingredients might be in that product. And not only will we give that product the boot, hence the name, the boot list, we will give you a $50 gift card for finding that ingredient. So that's how, that just shows our dedication and our commitment. Right. And to my knowledge, I don't think any other retailer is offering a program like that. And, you can go to earthfare.com and we have our whole boot list on there. It's close to 150 ingredients. And we send out educational pieces with our email newsletter. We put educational pieces on social media. And that's definitely a program that we're going to continue to evolve because it's so important, and it all trickles back to really being the heart and soul of Earthfare and who we are.
Absolutely love it. And I agree with what you said. I believe that you probably have the highest standards of any retailer out there today.
You do.
And if I'm wrong, let's go side by side and see what we got cooking with somebody else. But
yeah.
Your boot list is incredibly impactful, in my opinion. When we got involved, started looking and seeing that process of evolution, it is a powerful tool. I mean, so two things, because you have tenure there and you've been a part of this, seeing the evolution of this deal, I want to throw a two-part question at you. One, what's it say about your team's commitment to the consumer, as well as our planet, our nation's health in general? Because there's got to be a vibe internally that the boot list does for your culture. So I'd like, if you wouldn't mind maybe touching on that from the inside part of it, then I'll throw a second part of the question out. You can answer it all together however you want. But what kind of response and feedback do you get from your consumers because of the stance you've taken? I mean, because it's a line in the sand moment.
Absolutely. So I'll start with that second question first, actually.
Let her rip.
I work with a lot of nonprofit organizations, and one in particular, the South Carolina Autism Society. They come in and, they're some of the children, some of these ingredients can cause ADD and ADHD. They can make folks hyperactive. And with autistic folks, I've learned from this organization that artificial ingredients can actually make that more prevalent, if you will. So these folks, they come in, and I had a mom one time come in just in tears saying, you have cereal that I can give to my kid because it doesn't have artificial colors and flavors. Like, you guys are making it possible for my kid to lead a normal lifestyle and have things that their friends, at school have. So thank you. So it's moments like that just make everything all worth it. We had a individual email us once they found out we were coming back to one of our Florida markets, and they said they were just crying because they are, they suffer from cancer and they can only eat certain things according to their doctor. So, it's just stories like this that really touch the heart. And it makes a difference. And that goes back to the team members with the culture. All of our team members are with Earth Fare for a reason. They believe in our food philosophy. They believe in what we stand for. And it's all about education as well. I mean, with these folks coming to our store, it's a destination to get more information on the natural and organic industry. And we're here to help them. And I think our team members are very talented, and they're very dedicated to our food philosophy and what we have to offer our customers.
Yeah, I would imagine, again, culturally, it has to be, you have people excited to go to work because they can tangibly see that everything they're doing on a daily basis is making a positive difference to the health of our planet, let alone the health of individuals, but the health of our planet. Because I think that as we talk about the health of people directly affects the health of our planet.
Absolutely.
It's like you can go through all the climate debate, all this, but bottom line is eat right, eat good, find good foods. It's something we have to agree upon, how we grow it, how we serve it, et cetera, all incredibly powerful.
Absolutely.
So and culturally, it has to be fun.
Oh, absolutely. And we work with very ethical, vendors and partners, full transparency, certified B Corp. We have recycling programs within all of our stores. Save the Waste, our zero waste program that we're looking to evolve even more in 2023. So the environment, healthy planet, healthy folks, it just aligns and goes hand in hand.
I absolutely love it. You're an independent retailer. That's, that's a gunfight at the OK Corral in a lot of ways. Right. I mean, honestly, and you may have a BB gun to a howitzer too. You never know. Right. I mean, it's the truth. Right. It's a big deal. But there's challenges with that, but there's also incredible opportunity in that. So I want to talk about those both. I'd like to talk first, maybe some of the challenges that you feel or you're feeling or whatever's going on in the competitive environment that you live in.
Absolutely. So I think there's three main challenges that come to mind with being independently owned. Number one, distribution. Number two, buying power, because we're a bit of a smaller company, right? And number three, marketing cost. It's Earth Fare is considered a startup right now. Even though we've been around since 75, we've had 55 locations. We were America's #1 natural and organic, grocery store at a point. We are still a startup company now, and marketing is a challenge, but Earth Fare is very into grassroots and guerrilla marketing. And I think this is what sets us apart from some of the other retailers and competitors as well. We have folks that are going out and attending events. We go to festivals, we go to schools, we go to health fairs and lectures and seminars, and we talk about our philosophy. We talk about our boot list and what makes us different and special. So, having that on one hand, marketing is challenging because it's so expensive with traditional marketing, but on the other hand, we do our grassroots and community relations programs so very well. And again, that's something that we're going to continue to evolve. And that's how I started in Columbia too, with demoing and community. And it makes a huge difference. And I'm so glad that we're able to offer that to the communities that we serve.
I love it. One of the things I want to talk about the opportunities that being independent creative, but one of the things that I find, some things that I'm talking about a little bit more now is what I call intent, is shopper intent. And you have a shopper that has, maybe it's local intent, maybe it's organic intent, maybe it's regenerative intent, maybe it's whatever, right? Keto intent, vegan intent, right? But it's intent. And that's a very unique word when you think about a shopper, because they are getting in the car with intentions, right? Yes, they're going to the grocery store, but it's different than that. It is more connective than that, which makes for a relationship that is incredibly impactful and powerful. To your point about people saying, "Oh my God, please come back. Please, crying. I need your food. I can't get your food. I can't, I need to go to a place that's going to take care of me with every purchase that I make." Exactly. So I think that intent is something that's incredibly powerful that people don't necessarily recognize lives in the retail sector. Absolutely. Because I can go to wherever to go buy paper towels. There's just the intent to go buy paper towels. It's not an emotional connection. It's not a values connection, right? It's paper towel. But you provide that emotional and that value connection and that intent of somebody, better health, better for the environment, right? It's so powerful. So talk about, if we flip this thing over from the challenges, talk about the opportunities that really being so nimble allows you guys to be able to work with.
I think one of the big opportunities here is just being able to act quickly and act fast. So a great example, Earth Fare is well known for our fresh wild caught salmon on the East Coast. We have some of the best connections. So as a smaller company, if there happens to be an unexpected run, we're able to buy that entire boat, within a matter of a day or two, and get it out to all of our locations and really scream from the mountaintop and offer great, compelling value. With some of these other larger retailers, they're pre-booking. They have to plan 2, 3, sometimes 4 weeks in advance. So I think being able to act quickly and work with our family producers is a great benefit for us. And also a lot of our vendor partners, we've been working together for well over 20, 30 years. So we're able to offer some really great deals to our customers. Also just local products. With, for example, weather, Mother Nature and produce, sometimes we'll get products from the West Coast. If something happens, there's a frost or some sort of, extreme weather condition, we're able to then, as a smaller company, turn to our local purveyors here and say, hey, we need X, Y, and Z, and we can get it in and get it shipped out to our stores. So those would be the benefits. And I'll tell you, we have a very lean but mean team. We have a lot of folks that have been with Earth Fare, a lot of tenure here.
Yeah.
And it's great being a smaller company in that sense.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you're absolutely right. And I love the fact that you called it. It's about being nimble, right? It's got the ability, which again creates that experience back to your customers. To your point, you're able to pivot, to do stuff, be creative, to try to always keep the shelf soft because you can be nimble. Yeah, I think it's just really, really cool. I mean, I wish I had one in my backyard, believe me.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing when you kind of backing up to your evolution a little bit, right? It's 2020, this thing called the COVID hits,
yes.
right? I don't know if you heard about COVID, but it's a thing. Yeah, a little bit. And the economy certainly isn't winning any lotteries right now in a lot of ways. We seem to be paying out a lot of lottery money, but we don't seem to be winning the lottery in a lot of ways.
Right.
So, you guys kind of hit this craziness at this moment of, most retailers are not in a position to reinvest in stores, let alone buying or building. You continue to invest in your brand. You've continued since 2020 to continue to grow. Again, you went from 6 to 8 to 21, right? If I got the number right. Yep. So you guys are certainly not looking with any fear, right? You're probably going at a good pace, but you're not looking fearful into the future, which I think is an incredibly powerful statement. So talk to me about how you're continuing to invest in your brand and what that evolution is going to start to look like and what you think the evolution may look like 2 years from now.
Absolutely. So I think a lot of that is contributed to our great vendor partnerships. Again, they work with us on so many different levels. And, kind of going back to COVID a little bit, you have to remember, we did open up in 2020. We opened in the middle of when COVID started. So when we opened these locations, we didn't have our traditional grand openings. We weren't able to have these large crowds come in and attend. We didn't have huge marketing campaigns. We had to be careful with the amount of people coming through our doors, but we still did it. And I think, right now, Earth Fare will continue to grow. We will definitely grow, but I think we're going to take a bit of a break and reinvest our time and work on our core stores, the existing stores that are open. For the stores that had to open during COVID that didn't get all of that love and attention like it should have. And I think within the next maybe year and a half, we'll look at expanding again. But we're just going to take a little bit of break to go back and focus on what we have and grow those core programs and offer compelling value, bring back clean food security programs, make healthy eating easy and accessible for everyone, everywhere. I think that's the direction that Earth Fare is going in, and we couldn't be more excited about that. And also, that'll give us an opportunity to fill in those webs too with the communities that we're not in yet. We've gone to all of our existing locations from previous Earth Fare. We want to hit new markets, I think, in the future as well, which will definitely help with that distribution challenge that we have right now. But that's the forecast for Earth Fare.
I love it. Talk about a little bit about e-commerce, because that's, certainly is a big buzzword, and you hear that it's picking up, but then in some aspects you hear it's not, and it's not really, it's not all of the grocery store that's living in the e-commerce world. Do you really want somebody to go pick out your peaches, or do you want to do it yourself? I mean, it's reality of what it is, but yeah, getting me the pasta sauce, that's a no-brainer, right? Pull it off the shelf. So talk a little about how e-commerce is playing into your world today.
Sure. Well, obviously we're on Instacart. With Earth Fare, we offer some of the highest quality fresh products. We want that experience in the store. So although we don't have anything on our website currently, I think in the future we are looking at options to where we can send packages direct to home. Obviously we want to make ordering available. We have a phenomenal cafe. We have a hot bar, a soup and salad bar, a pizza bar. You can get smoothies and juices made, sandwiches and wraps. So I think we'll be putting those options online. But again, you have to remember we're starting up, we're getting our feet now. We're diving back into the existing locations and getting the in-store programming secured and set. And then we'll be moving on to some e-commerce opportunities. But again, at the end of the day, I think our customers come to us for the experience to get educated and to talk with our team members and just to walk around the store and just physically touch things and see things and again, just get that food philosophy education.
Well, I think experience is an undervalued word in the grocery department. And I go back to what I said originally. You want to put value back in the food, make shopping an experience, make it to where people can learn, make them where people can find confidence, where people can sit there and say, oh, I get that.
Right.
I understand. Oh, really? That's that. That's why that's that. I think it's just incredibly important. And I think, again, we've got to continue these conversations. We have to keep elevating these conversations if we want to make changes to our world. And I think it's just incredibly important. One of the things that I'm talking about as well this year a little bit more is what I'm calling the shopping around syndrome, where the economy is forcing people. I go back. It makes me think about when I was a kid. My grandma was classic. My grandma would go to Safeway to buy eggs, and then she would go to, at that time, their store was Market Basket back in the days. In the old back days, and over there she would go for like milk. And it's the same damn eggs in both stores, but to her it was just like, that's where I bought my eggs, that's where I go get my milk. And she would go for those two things and make two stops. It was just kind of a different world. So it got me thinking, I guess, to my journey about this, what I'm calling this shopping around syndrome, where people are price sensitive. They and they're not necessarily saving any money. A lot of it can be smoke and mirrors in their own mind. Again, it goes back to you driving intent into things. How do you combat that, especially from your angle as running the marketing side? So if you wouldn't mind talking about that a little bit.
Sure. Well, we have a phenomenal loyalty program for one that awards shoppers for shopping with us. They accumulate points, and every certain amount of points is a dollar store credit within our locations. It's called Your Healthy Rewards. So that's a great program. Also, we offer daily deals. And again, this is a program that we will continue to evolve, but each and every day of the week, we offer some sort of deal, again, to make healthy eating easy and accessible. As far as our meat products go and our poultry, we have some of the best prices in the industry, hands down, and it's the highest quality. Every Tuesday you can come in and get $3.99 a pound ground beef and boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And these animals, they're on a vegetarian fed diet. They're humanely raised. There's no antibiotics or added growth hormones. So again, very high quality. Every Monday you can come in and get a whole roasted chicken for $6.99. I mean, that's less expensive than some of the main big retailers out there, everyday grocery stores. You can get a take and bake pizza every Friday for $7. So, and this is pizza made with organic dough. The sauce, the tomatoes are vine ripened in Modesta, California. Extremely fresh. The cheese, antibiotic free. The meats free of nitrates and nitrites. So if you're going to get a pizza, you might as well come to Earth Fare and get, a healthier pizza, if you will, made with real ingredients. So we offer daily deals. We offer the loyalty, and our goal at the end of the day is to absolutely offer a full shopping experience. So you can get everything you need under one roof. It's sustainably sourced, and it's of the highest quality.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and I think, again, I think it's really an important thing or an angle to look at from a retail perspective. Like, how much are people shopping around? Why do they shop around?
Right.
What aren't we fulfilling? Obviously, if you don't have gas, okay, you don't have gas, right? Or if you, whatever case may be. But, I just think it's a real important exercise that retailers need to go through. Is why is that happening? How do we combat that? What are people, and because I think they look at it from a price point in a lot of ways, right? We're not cheap enough, which is, that narrative, we've beaten that we're not cheap enough narrative into the ground, right? There's, people just don't have, efficiencies, much anymore. I mean, technology will certainly help, but nonetheless, we've got to come up with a different, we got to have a different shtick. Right. And I think when you look what you're doing, with your boot list and the way you're standing behind your values and this and that, it certainly drives people to say, hey, I don't need to shop around. I can do what I want to do here. So in framing it up, I want to talk a little bit about the economy because we're dealing with it. It's real, right? And
Right.
you hear things like lower the prices mean lower margins, et cetera, right? And if you take a look at the retail sector, I mean, yes, you guys do what you do, and it is what it is. But overall, even margins aren't that great, right? They're not. They're not. It's just a lot of volume type of deal and really low margins for the most part. Talk a little bit about how the economy is. You're feeling inside the store, what you're seeing, and maybe how you're dealing with it.
Absolutely. So again, that really goes back to our vendor partnerships. They've been working with us again on so many levels to help keep prices down. In fact, just this past summer, we launched a campaign where healthy food should never be out of reach, and we actually were able to lower over 200 center store items, so items found within our grocery department. And we've gotten such a great response from that. We have signage in the store so you can easily identify these everyday pantry essentials that are at a great price. But yeah, again, it just comes down to our vendor partnerships, and we've been very lucky, and we've been passing the savings on to our customers in times where many retailers are hiking their prices up. We've been able to keep them lowered.
Thanks for joining the Todd-versation. And now, a word from our sponsor. At Produce Careers, we are in the people business. Thanks for listening to Todd-versations. As your trusted executive search firm for the fresh produce, food processing, and agribusiness industries, we focus on outcomes. With over 80 years of combined industry expertise, with our global networks, we have the tools and the skills to identify top talent for your organization's strategic hiring needs. Our relationship-driven approach and proven recruitment process deliver the right candidates at the right time. At Produce Careers, we know each hire is an investment. Whether you're looking for the perfect candidate or searching for your next challenge, call or email us today and let us partner with you.
You touched on something. I want to come back around about your consumer messaging.
Yes.
From your perspective and your tenure and what you've seen, how important is that? And how much do you think that changes that kind of quote unquote shopping around syndrome? Because you are, I don't want to say you're over communicating because that's rude, and I'm not going from that trail. But you guys don't leave much on the table when it comes to communication. I mean, it's like everything's kind of in front of you, which I think is really powerful. Can you touch on that today and how you feel about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, education is key. We have an extremely knowledgeable staff in our stores. We have an extremely knowledgeable team at our home office, and we just want to continue that bootless messaging. It's very, very important. You are what you eat at the end of the day, right? Everybody has to eat, and we want to make sure that what you're putting in your body is of the highest quality. So we'll always have that messaging, whether it's on social media, on segments, on podcasts like this. That will always be the forefront of who we are and the message that we want to get across there.
Yeah, I love because the fact you are an independent store and you pivot and you're nimble, you also have the ability to do something that I think is an incredibly powerful tool, and that's customer service.
Yes.
And I think that's something that doesn't get talked about a lot. Again, it goes back to intent. That store has great customer service. I intend to shop there, right? And I think it's powerful. So what role does customer service play in creating that higher level of shopping experience, do you think?
It's one of the main roles. I mean, everyone wants to feel welcomed when they come in. So we train our staff when they come in, we want to make sure there's demos and samples going on in the store. But it's one of the most important things when you come in. You want to feel like you're wanted there, right? And that's something that we're very proud of. We have a great customer service program, so it makes all the difference.
I love it. I was shopping yesterday, went into a big store, and not even a hello at the check stand, nothing the entire time. And I get it. Like, I'm going and I know the 3 things I need to go buy, right? I know where I'm heading into, but at the same token, it's just like, you're not very fired up about going there. You went there because that's where you had to go get that, right? And I think
we want to leave a memorable experience. I mean, even with staffing issues that our entire country, has experienced, I would say for the past, 6-8 months, we take the time to walk customers to product. We take the time to say hello. That's very important. That's at the end of the day, that's who you are, right?
100%. Yeah, I totally agree. I just think it's incredibly important. I mean, I think we've got to get back to that. And I also believe that, it helps us become better human beings by interacting with each other, saying hello, right? I mean, I was talking about this with somebody the other day. When I was a kid and I used to call my buddies, their mom and dad were going to answer the phone. You had to go through mom and dad before you got to talk to your friend, right? And we don't do that anymore. And I think it's really important that we remember how to communicate as human beings. And I think grocery stores are a great place. To your point, educate, be nimble, tell people what's going on, get the boot list, figure out what's good, what's bad, and make positive changes to your life. And I commend you guys for what you're doing. I mean, you guys are a very, very, you're a unicorn out there. And I love to see the success that you have. I love to see that you're back. And I can't wait to see where the trajectory is of the company as it continues to grow and hopefully shows up in my backyard someday, which is really cool. Not that I've said that twice and I'm planting a seed in the back of your mind. I'm just saying it.
You have to come visit us out here.
Okay. Hey, you don't have to ask me twice to come up to Asheville. I mean, that's right. You got bears, which are great to see from the car. But like you said, you can't swing a bear without hitting a yoga studio, a smoothie bar, tea shop, or really good food in Asheville. I mean, bottom line.
Absolutely.
I know. So what's next for you guys? I mean, how excited are you, kind of getting out of the COVID thing and moving on and life's getting kind of fun and talk a little bit about what's next for y'all.
Yeah, so we're extremely excited. We have a lot of new programming planned for 2023. Like I mentioned before, with our grassroots and guerrilla marketing, we're going to be going out in the communities even more so, and participate in festivals and events. We're really going to continue to expand our loyalty program as well. Not to mention private label. We have 23 grocery items right now. That's Earth Fare private label. We just launched our new coffee line in partnerships with Larry's Coffee, and we're going to continue to grow that line. We're going to bring back some of our legacy items, maple cream cookies. I probably shouldn't say this, but hopefully they're coming back. And folks, that was probably the #1 item at Earth Fare. It's a decadent cookie, but it's natural. It's not made with high fructose corn syrup, but it was one of the favorites, and we would always take that out. So we're bringing back those old school items. It might take a little bit of time, but I am so excited to get some of those customer favorites back on the shelves. And also we're going to be starting our webinar series, where we'll have monthly webinars where we have professionals and MDs come on and they talk about different health topics and they recommend certain products. In January, we're launching one with Garden of Life. It'll be all about detoxing and cleansing. So we're super excited about that. Just in-store programs, events, loyalty, and private label. Those are some of our main areas of focus.
I love it. I'm just stoked for you guys. I really am. I'm thrilled that you're out there. I'm thrilled that people can learn from you. I hope people do. I hope retailers out there say, you know what, maybe we need to blow back to Asheville for a day and walk these stores and see what we're missing, because I really firmly believe that you all are on the right path, on the right trajectory to help change this country and to help change the conversation. And I commend you for what you're doing. I commend you for the line in the sand that you've drawn and standing by your values and pumping those values into your culture. I mean, you guys are the epitome of what, a retailer needs to be, and you are. And I just love it. I really love it. I'm stoked that you're here today. I really am.
Thank you. We couldn't be more excited about our trajectory and growth here. And, and it all falls back to our ownership. We truly have the right people in place. We're not being ran by, investors sitting in New York City, where we're being ran by people that believe in our mission, our food philosophy. Our owner and CEO, he comes to our leadership meetings. He's on our weekly calls. That, we have ownership that's involved, that is tied to Earth Fare, that truly cares about our mission and where we're going. So that makes all the difference as well.
I love it. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for hanging out with me and making the time and sharing with everybody, what you all are about.
Absolutely. It's a great, healthy comeback story. And just thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share it with everyone.
It's an honor. It really is. You're welcome back anytime. I want to, when we get to 100 stores, and if you get one in my backyard, then we'll definitely go live remote from that event, because I'll be freaking out waiting to get in.
You got it.
Thank you again. Thanks for being here. Everybody, Earth Fare, check them out. If you're in the vendor community and you're not doing business with them, you should consider it. You're traveling around, and wherever states they're in, you have an opportunity to pop in the store, go see them and see what they're about. And maybe it's just a consumer that's out there. If you have an opportunity to go check it out, then put a little pressure back on your retailer and said, hey, I have intentions when I go to the grocery store. Meet my intentions happen, baby. Let's do it. Let's change the narrative out there. And I think this is a great role model to look at to do that in the retail sector. So thanks again for being here with us. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us. Much love from me to you. I appreciate everything you're doing for us, uplifting these messages and carrying the banner for us to keep these conversations going, because they're so incredibly important. We want to change this planet, plant trees, teach kids how to eat better, shop at grocery stores like Earth Fare, make a difference out there. We can do this. We really can. We just got to get our shit together and go down the right path. That's what's going to matter. Let's go down the right path. And we have the ability to do that. So thanks for listening. Don't forget, check us out on social media, TLC_Todd-versations. You know why I'm on social media, Laurie? You know why?
Why?
Because the Kardashians are. That is the only reason why. No.
I can see
Check
that.
us out. Yeah, thank you. Check us out on social media. We appreciate you, everybody. Like I say, go inspire somebody. If the conversation with Laurie didn't, do that for you, I don't know how to help you, but go ask your retailer to be better. Let's do it, people. We can do it, and I love it. Much love to everybody. Thanks for being here. Take care. We'll see you soon.